Have you ever thought, when we look for the other half on the dating app, there are countless pairs of eyes hidden in the dark? Wendy is a small town girl from Norway. Disney princess movies are her childhood favorites, also shapes her view of love. One day, Wendy spotted a man named Shimon on his phone. He's handsome and attends business meetings frequently. His social account not only has many fans, but also shows more of his exciting and luxurious life. It also shows that he inherited the family business from his father, a diamond company. The two quickly matched. The two, who are also in London, agreed to meet. Luxurious hotel makes her nervous and excited. Shimon not only looks handsome but also speaks well. It turned out that he had a daughter who was less than 2 years old after the divorce. He's now looking for a new intimacy. Shimon then invited the girls to fly to Bulgaria with a private jet. At this time, Wendy has been carried away by love, with his friends are searching on Google. After confirming that Shimon's family does has a strong background, they're even more convinced that her friend has met a real prince. Upon arrival in Bulgaria, Shimon arranges for the ladies and children to be taken to the hotel. Wendy heard more positive comments from his ex-wife. That night, she had a romantic night with Shimon. Soon she ended the trip and returned home. Unexpectedly, Shimon gave her a quick response. He said she was looking for a serious relationship. Start this day, he often gave surprise gifts. Then after establishing a relationship, Shimon confesses more. He said that he's now doing a big investment which is worth $70 million US. He's been threatened a lot lately. Soon Shimon authorized Wendy to find an apartment in London with a monthly budget of $10,000. However, the good time did not last long. One night, Shimon makes a video call. His bodyguard was bleeding, and Shimon's clothes were all stained with a lot of blood. The next day, Shimon sent another message. He said the security team disabled his credit card. Because the enemy will locate the attacked based on the record, he asked Wendy to lend him his card to use. Shimon has to pay for all the expenses of the retail team. Wendy had to communicate with the bank, claiming that these purchases are all made by herself, and asked the bank to unfreeze the card. In order to increase the credit limit of the card, Shimon also asked for her passport information. Then he started to hire her so that she can afford to pay back these charges. Of course, Wendy did not receive these wages. Maybe it is because being chased by the enemy. Shimon starts to get a little distracted in the relationship. After that, he asked Wendy to close the social account together. One day, Shimon asked her again to fly to Amsterdam and asked her to bring $20,000 in cash. In the end, Wendy used various methods, raised the money and flew to Shimon's apartment. However, just a few hours after they met, Shimon flew to Stockholm. Once Shimon got there, he contacted Linda, who also met on Tinder. Everything is the same as before. Shimon uses the same routine, invite her to date at a luxury hotel. The rest is the same as what happened to Wendy. Shimon invited Pearl to his party. The morning after the party, Shimon has already flown to Greece at this time, where he has made a new model girlfriend, invite her to go on vacation. However, while they are spending money, Wendy has been overwhelmed by the numerous payment bills. She contacted Shimon several times. Eventually, the two met in Amsterdam. Shimon gave Wendy a personal check, enough to pay off all her debts. However, when she returned to London, she found that the check could not be checked at all. Wendy finally woke up. Then she contacted the bank. Investigator told her the so-called Prince of Diamonds is actually a swindle. He used the same trick to defraud a lot of women, put them in the huge debt. Wendy, who learned the truth, almost collapsed, but Shimon threatened her not to call the police. As a victim, Wendy felt very scared. Shimon has information about her identity and even the addresses of her family. Frightened and stressed by debate, she ended up in the mental hospital. Meanwhile, Shimon repeated her tricks and sent Linda those pictures of his injuries and begged her to lend him $30,000. She actually lent Shimon more money through loans. A week later, Shimon sent her a screenshot of a $100,000 bank transfer. Linda, who received the screenshot, was excited, but the $100,000 never arrived. And at this time, a private message made her heart drop to the bottom. It turns out that Wendy, who has calmed down, reported the matter to one of the Norway's largest newspapers, hoped to stop Shimon. She also sent a related article she found to reporters. Shimon was taken to court years ago and ended up being sentenced to just a few months in prison. And the most astonishing thing is that one of the victims, it was Shimon's ex-wife. It was her experience that made Wendy take off her guard further. The reporters followed the trail and found Shimon's home in Israel. However, his mother said that Shimon had already changed his name, cut off contact with the family. She changed his last name to be the same as the diamond tackle. Of course, the two are not actually related, so the reporters decided to start tracking the ladies. They found Linda's social account on the internet and sent a private message to tell Shimon's true face. Also sent relevant reports to her. Linda immediately forwarded the report to Shimon for questioning, and Shimon explained that it was all his enemy's tricks. Then she collaborated with Wendy. The two have participated in many shows to expose Shimon's true face, attracted unprecedented attention. Many people laugh at them for being stupid, but they are still very determined to continue to expose, to avoid more people to being deceived. And among readers who saw the report, there's a special person. There's one of the Shimon's girlfriend, Ashley. The two have been dating for 14 months. After calming down, Ashley realized that she had lent a lot of money. She lied about using her identity working in the fashion industry, persuaded Shimon to hand over those famous brand clothes so she can sell them for him. Shimon agreed and gave her bank card to transfer money with his latest fake name. Soon, Ashley ran away from him and recovered some losses with these designers' products. Shimon was angry after she found out, but soon he started begging for Ashley's help again. One day, he asked Ashley to buy him a plane ticket to Greece. Ashley asks about his purpose, but this message has never been read. Ashley realizes that Shimon must be on the plane, and she immediately retrieved the flight information corresponding the time to Shimon stopped receiving a message. Then she sent to Interpol along with his fake name. In the end, Shimon was arrested immediately after landing. However, in the end, he only sentenced to 15 months in prison for crimes in Israel and was released from prison after 5 months. And those actors who cooperated with him have escaped punishment. After he was released from prison, he still maintained the luxury life before, even got a new model girlfriend. Victims still carry huge debt. In fact, Shimon's fraud is not very clever. He does the same thing with every victim. Even those videos are exactly the same, but the girls still believe him. It's not because they are stupid, but because they have been brainwashed by stereotype of marriage. A healthy relationship shouldn't make us lose focus on ourselves. If you feel pain in a relationship, maybe it's time to choose to leave.